What's up guys, it's your boy once again with another video. Welcome back to my channel. As you can hear from my voice today, I'm a bit sick, but I needed to get the video done for the week. Right now I'm in my basement gym, at my home gym, because there was no other place that I could record right now. So I hope the lighting is good and I hope you like it. Maybe I'll do some other videos here as well, except for the training videos. Today we're going to talk about a topic that I've wanted to do in a while. It's plant versus animal protein for muscle growth, which is better, which is more optimal. And I've been actually wanting to do this quite a long time because I've already done a whole literature review on this topic as an exam, let's say, as a project. Sounds better for my university in the first semester. So I found around 30 studies, pretty much took some bits from each study and used about 26, I believe, in the literature review. So I think I pretty much know what to say in this video and have studied this in detail more than anybody else right now. Not anybody else in the whole world, but you know what I mean. I know my stuff in this topic, that's it. So, to start off right, is there a short answer for your question? Are plant-based protein sources better for muscle growth, or are animal-based proteins better for muscle growth? The short answer, as you all expect, is that yes, animal proteins technically are better for muscle growth overall, but there's a big but in this video, but you gotta stick with me so you see what I have to tell. But the whole verdict of this study and this literature review that I wrote was that you can build equally well with either source that you use. Even if you're completely vegan and don't eat any meat at all, you can do it equally well. So let's start right off and you will see what I'm talking about right in the next clip. So let's start right off. As you can see, I got my phone once again with me because I wrote some notes down from my actual literature review. I studied it before the video, especially the main body, because it has the main points that I want to get across in this video. So let's start. First things first. One thing you need to consider is protein digestibility. That's where the meat proteins really have a substantial advantage in contrast with the plant proteins. Some studies show that eggs, dairy, meat are more than 90% digestible, even close to 99, so almost completely digestible from the system, while some plant protein sources like maize, oats, beans, peas, potatoes range from 45% to 80% tops in digestibility. That means that some protein sources from plants get half the protein actually digested, because it said 45%. So that's a very big loss in protein and amino acids from ingestion of plant protein. On the other hand though, soy protein isolate, pea protein concentrate have similar digestibility to meat. So this means that they're probably more than 90% digestible. This means they're better protein sources for vegans, let's say, to choose from, or even people that eat meat and plant proteins at the same time. So this means that meat actually wins because smaller amount of meat is actually needed to meet protein requirements. So because it's so digestible, rather than some of the plant protein sources at least. So another thing that was found from another study regarding protein digestibility was that protein from soy and wheat was easier converted to urea after ingestion in contrast with milk protein. So that means that the body didn't actually digest it very well, and it tried to excrete it from the body and take it out through the form of urine and not get the actual amino acids absorbed So moving on to number 2, the second thing that we have to consider is leucine content, both in plant protein sources and animal protein sources. Leucine is the most important amino acid for muscle protein synthesis. Muscle protein synthesis is the process with which the body creates muscle, let's say, to make it more easy for you. So there are two processes that happen at the same time in the body: muscle protein synthesis and muscle protein breakdown. Muscle protein synthesis is like building the blocks. Let's imagine a wall, like building a wall with amino acids and proteins, and muscle protein breakdown takes some bricks off the wall and destroys, let's say, the wall. So if your muscle protein synthesis is more than your muscle protein breakdown, that means you build muscle. Otherwise you lose muscle if muscle protein breakdown is more. So meat protein sources have more leucine in them, so they can regulate muscle protein synthesis better, in contrast with plant protein sources. So that's another thing to consider. They got more leucine in them. Another variable that we gotta consider for whether plants or animal protein sources are better is number 3, how rapid is the aminoacidemia in the body. So to make it simple, but this is more of a detail, I don't really mind you remembering that. So to make it easier, this means how fast amino acids like EAAs, especially essential amino acids, are found in the blood right after the absorption and digestion of food. So let's say you eat something right now, how fast these amino acids are gonna appear in your body. So studies showed that this happened almost equally well. Why I keep saying good, I don't know. Equally well from plant protein sources and animal protein sources. So that was a thing where these two sources were equal. So that's a good thing for the vegans here and the plant protein eaters. So number 4, we need to remember that every single protein source can build muscle if it has the necessary essential amino acids inside it to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So every protein source can build muscle. Okay, so moving on to number 5. I don't even know why I put numbers. I want to make it more organized for you to not lose it. Even though it seems like until now, with the things that I've said before, that protein from animal sources is actually winning the debate and they are better for muscle growth, this is not necessarily the case, because there were many studies that I found, and I'm gonna use the actual numbers from a single one that I saw, where when the actual protein intake for the whole day was increased, so let's say here it says from 0.78 grams per kilogram to 1.15 grams per kilogram, so this is a significant increase in the total protein of the day. The differences in muscle gains between two groups, that the one group only ate animal protein sources and the other group only ate plant protein sources, the differences were eliminated. So this means that the higher amount of protein they consume, the more chance it is that they make equal results, even though the others only ate plant protein sources. Okay, now that we are finished, I'm going to talk about 2 strategies that the vegan or plant protein eating groups can use to build muscle equally well, if not better, than the animal protein eating groups. So like I mentioned in the 5th tip, the scientists themselves use the protein dosaging method to get equal results with the animal protein eating groups. So the protein dosaging method is to actually increase the whole protein intake of an individual per day. So many studies recommend this method. Actually, it was the mostly recommended method. So in a particular study they said, like, if a specific individual consumes like 30 grams of whey protein, which is animal protein, the same individual would have to consume around 60, so double the amount of wheat. The wheat protein was used in this specific study, wheat protein, but they would get the same results. So what I recommend these groups to do is actually not necessarily double, but eat more protein if they're gonna eat it from vegetables and plants in general. Maybe around double, yes. I know it's difficult, but it's doable. And the second strategy that I recommend, and was recommended in the studies, is protein blending. So number 2, protein blending. So because many plant proteins didn't have a complete amino acid profile, this means that they didn't have the necessary EAAs, so essential amino acids, in them to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. The method that the scientists recommended in these studies was to protein blend. This means that all the individuals had to eat from many different sources of plants to get the necessary essential amino acids in them. So I'm currently looking at a very good graph. I will put it somewhere in the screen, where, let's say, if you see pea protein didn't have like the necessary methionine for muscle protein synthesis, but if you combine it, let's say, with hemp protein, which had more than the essential amount of EAAs to stimulate muscle protein synthesis, that could do the job. Or another example would be wheat. If you see, wheat didn't have, in the upper graph, didn't have as much lysine, inside to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. But if you combine it, let's say, with lentil, you would get the necessary lysine to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So that's what protein blending means, to take different protein sources until you get all the necessary amino acids to stimulate properly muscle protein synthesis. So that is the video for today. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please smash the like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, guys. I hope you like the educational videos more. Let me know in the comments maybe what you want to see next. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.